Go. Cool. So welcome to our marketing mastery for this quarter. I think, is this your first one of these, James?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, cool. So what we have is there's a series of 6 of these workshops that cover what I think are the core fundamentals of a business, from time management through finance, marketing, sales, customer and team. And obviously today is really about the marketing side of things, which, for me is about lead generation. Sales is about converting those leads. This is about how do we get new people into the business, rather than repeat business, that side of things. So when we talk about sort of marketing, is there anything specific that you guys want to get out of today? So what would be a key learning for you to achieve?
I suppose new ways of engaging and attracting customers that are not quite up to speed with or haven't used. The thinking behind all the methods, that's something I'm not as deep into, the why and how, and you make people make the decisions to come to, the psychology side, which I know we've touched on other bits that we've done with you. So the thing, the thinking, what's actually going on, that sort of thing. How do you influence a decision to, what's the effective way of communicating to make people, I suppose, like you said earlier, it was breaking it down in the different components of business. The marketing is different depending who you're going marketing to and what you're marketing.
Okay, cool. Gary?
I've just written there, my goal for today would be to get from you the 3 best ways for me to focus on for lead generation regarding my sort of industry and business. And I want to try grab 3 ways from you and implement that from the 1st of May. I'm a marketing lady as well. So I'm going to kind of push her as well in doing these 3 ways.
Okay. So what I'm going to do this slightly backwards. Again, so I can get it done, the majority done in the hour for James, and that we can focus on both those things that you've talked about. So this is a great book if you really want to understand the process of what marketing is and how to do marketing. Then I would recommend this book. It's not a big book, it's only sort of so thick, but I've read a lot of marketing books. I've done a lot of marketing courses. For me, this book basically sums up what it's all about. And in this, it's got this little, and I can send you sort of copies of this if you want to use it as a guide. When we come to marketing, the first thing that we've really got to focus on is, okay, what is our goal? What are we trying to achieve? Because what we should never start with is, okay, I want to do some marketing. I'm going to put some adverts out. I'm going to put a billboard out. I'm going to, you never ever start with what you're actually going to do. The first thing you start with, okay, what am I trying to achieve? Now, for a lot of businesses, certainly for yours, James, this is why we're trying to break it down into its component parts, because you don't just have one business, you have multiple businesses, multiple products, multiple customer bases. Therefore, we've got to have a goal in each of those. Gary, for you, similar to that, you've got commercial, you've got residential. The narrower you can make your goal, the easier the whole marketing becomes. Okay, so we've really got to be thinking about what that desired result is going to be. What are we actually really trying to achieve? And the way I look at this is, we start with the end in mind, and we work backwards. So what is the profit I'm trying to achieve? Therefore, what do I need my sales to be? What's my average transaction value? how much am I going to get of that through my existing clients? How much of that do I need to get from my new clients? What's my conversion rate? Therefore, how many leads do I need? Then what's the activity I'm going to do? Okay. Until you've done that for a particular area, then I would say don't do any marketing.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you've got to, because the big thing with marketing is, as Henry Ford said in the 1800s, 50% of marketing is wasted. I just don't know which 50% it is.
Yeah.
So we've got to start looking and saying, right, if I know what my goal is, yeah, and therefore, you know, my activity in whichever strategy I'm going to use, then I can actually start to work towards this. So at least this bit here, you know, how many leads do I, because this is sales, this existing business is customer mastery, you know, profit is, you know, through finance and understanding, but lead generation, how many leads do I need, is what the end result of marketing is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once I know what I'm going to achieve here, then I can start thinking, right, now I need to put a plan together. Yeah. And this is where the HEMP process for me kicks in, is, yeah, once I know what my sort of goals are, now I can focus on the fundamentals. And really, you know, okay, this talks about target audience, the story communication. I simplify it a little bit more in that, for me, the three most important parts of marketing are: who's my target? What am I offering them? How do I communicate? What's the copy? Okay, so if I'm thinking about the effort that I'm going to put into a marketing plan, yeah, I want to spend 50% of my time and effort understanding who my targets are.
Yeah.
I put about 30% into what am I offering them.
Yeah.
And 20% of my effort into how do I communicate this. Now, what most people do is they put 80% of the effort into the copy, 20% into the offer, and there's not targeted whatsoever. And then they wonder why they don't get any results.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're looking at the target, what we're looking at is, you know, look into internally, okay, who are my existing A-grade clients? Who do I want more of? You know, why are they A-grade? What's their problem? You know, where do I find them? Really, and this is why I say you've got to, you know, you've got to break your business down into its component parts. So, you know, Gary's, sorry, Gary, I can't get over that bloody pink feather that's wiggling around. It's like you've got a flamingo in your front room. So.
I'm at my friend's house, and this is the only one I can find.
Oh, is it? It is actually a flamingo. It
is.
It's a pen.
I apologise, all the viewers that are watching this on YouTube. You know,
I'm trying to keep it off the screen as best I can. Sorry.
It's not something you have to bring to the table. Is a funny pen. So it's really sort of coming into that, you know, who my target is. So if I'm going to go for Gary, right, I'm going to go commercial, right. I've got to break commercial down into its component parts. So what type of commercial have I done business before with? You know, what type of industries are they in? What size of business? You know, there's got to be something that we can start to narrow that focus down. And that takes a bit of time, it takes a bit of effort, you know, but it is so valuable, because the more you can narrow that focus down, the easier your marketing is going to be.
Yeah.
And a little sort of way to think about this is, if I said to you, you know, I want to get my niece, sorry, I've given it away there. My you know, change it again. I want to get my sibling a birthday present. What should I get them?
Amazon voucher.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly bland and generic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what information would make it easier for you to decide what present I should get my sibling?
Age, gender.
Yeah, gender, age. Who are they? Who they are? What do they like doing?
And how much you like them.
Yeah. What do they do? Yeah. How much you like? So all of those questions that you're asking, if we drill down, then suddenly I'll be able to give you you'll be able to give me a much better answer to that question of what should I get them. And that's really what we're doing here, is we're breaking it down. And once we know who they are, what we then need to ask is, okay, what questions are they asking? What are they currently thinking? What's going through their mind in order, to make these buying decisions? Are they already buying from somebody else? What would the relationship be like with their existing supplier? Okay, all of this information is going to be really useful for us to actually, focus our mind what we're trying to achieve. So this book, Marcus Sheridan, is a great book. And if you've got a website that's trying to deliver leads for you, it's a must read for your marketing person who's in charge of your website, because understanding this is key. I got a marketing guy to come and talk to us last week about Ahrefs. It's on the YouTube channel for the recording from last week, about software that actually does this. It uses Google to understand what questions are people typing into Google when they come to your website. So if you know this stuff, it's just so valuable, because then your messaging can be attracting more of those people, but when they do come in, you know what they're actually looking for. So he talks about the big 5 things that you've got to address. The things that they're going to be on their mind is, they are going to be thinking about price and cost. So if you don't address that question, then they're going to go away from your site, or they're not going to have that question answered. Now, if you're selling a product, it's generally quite easy. You publish the prices. If it's a service, it may not be as easy. You may have to put a range in there, but they will be talking about it. They could all be thinking about, well, what goes wrong with this stuff? Okay, so if I'm going to change from my existing supplier to a new supplier, well, what could go wrong? So if you can deal with those elephants in the room, then you're actually overcoming their fear to actually change. How do we compete to competitors? We don't like to talk about competitors, but actually, if you're the one that's giving unbiased content about it, then it can really help you with that. And reviews, we all know that reviews are brilliant. What's important to them, can be, again, great content that we can use to attract more people. So, okay.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do here is understand what somebody's resistance to change is, and how do we actually reduce that down. So there's a little formula we use, which is, it's called the formula for change. Okay, so everyone has a resistance to change, and what we're trying to do is reduce the resistance, okay, which is the R, and improve over here. So the D is dissatisfaction, B is the vision. So if somebody's dissatisfied with their current status quo, then we need to highlight that. Yeah. If they're not dissatisfied, then we need to work hard on the vision of what life will be like when they do change. So if they've got this product that they're using, well, why would that product not work? why would our product be better? If it's a service, why is their current supplier of that service, it's not going to be ideal for them? What does it need to be better? Now, this does transition into the sales process, but as far as our marketing is concerned, we still need to have this. Okay, so we need to understand what our clients' resistances are, what they would be dissatisfied with, and what their vision is. These are all these questions that we need to really understand within our existing target market. Time. My screen's over here. I should be wiggling my thing here. So we reduce this resistance, we increase the dissatisfaction, we increase the vision, and then the F is the first steps. The first steps is click here, pick up the phone, send me an email, make it easy for them to actually to buy. So,
yeah.
Okay. So any questions here on our target market, what we need to do?
On the page before this page that you're on, I think it said 5, but there was only 4 on the screen.
Okay. Sorry, the 5th one was who are your best competitors? Okay, but it can also be, it may not be competitors. It could be, because I always say for coaching, my biggest competitor is apathy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really have competitors in my field. There are people out there, but I don't see them as competitors. My biggest competitor is people doing nothing. Yeah,
it can be doing nothing or not buying. Yeah, that's also a competitor.
Yeah, not staying as you are. Staying. You're
trying to persuade.
About it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gary, if you're going to go to, on the commercial side, let's say, you're going to go to the estate agents and say, look, I can provide this service for you. They're going to have people that are already doing that for them. They're not sitting there with nobody doing their maintenance work. So you've got to identify. Now, what we're not doing is slating the competition. There's no benefit in doing that. But what we can say is, look, the advantages of who you're using are this, but the disadvantages could be this. Advantages of me is this, the disadvantages of me is this, and be open with the bits you can't do, because you're all of this is you're still building trust as well. They want to see you as that trusted advisor, so that when they do make a decision, they're more likely to go with what you're recommending than somebody else.
A number of our competitors who still don't show costs, don't show prices.
Yeah.
I've probably got 3 of them, and you'd think if you didn't show pricing, you would quote within 2 minutes, because you've got nothing visible, so you have to make an inquiry. But no, they take a day to quote as well. I still cannot understand them. I don't think there is any marketing or basis of sense of, I just don't see the sense in it. In this day and age,
the majority of people don't understand this. Even when I speak to marketing companies and say to marketing companies, what is the goal of marketing? So I actually ask them. I say, look, what is marketing? They'll come up with some, thing about maybe the 7 Ps.
Yes.
All of this stuff, but it's not. Marketing is lead generation.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's how do I get people to inquire and come to me?
Yeah.
So if whatever I'm doing is not generating me leads, then it's not working, and if I understand how much I'm investing in it, then I know what my return on investment is. How much does a lead cost? How much does a customer cost me to actually buy? And that's really what we're doing, is we're buying customers.
That's what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll come back onto that in a minute. Okay, so that time we spend to do the targeting is really important, and we must not skimp on that one. Once I've got my list of targets, now I can move into the offer. And the offer then really starts, with, having clarity around what our USP and guarantee is. So why us? Why would you give up what you're doing? Because, people don't like change. No one likes change. That's why we have the formula for change. People only change if they're dissatisfied or they have a vision. So part of our USP is if we do something no one else can do, then, and that's a value to somebody, then they're more likely to change. If we can put a guarantee in place, which takes away the risk of change, then that helps them make that commitment. So understanding what our unique selling proposition is can be quite tricky. So, and another good book on this is this one by Donald Miller, called Story Brand. So it's actually building a story behind the brand itself. People buy into the story. They buy into, why you're here, the purpose, what you're all about. Because we've moved from this sort of, if I want something, I'll Google it, I'll buy it. But what people want is a connection with what they're actually buying. Less so with a commodity-based product. The more commodity it is, the less they're interested. Okay, but it doesn't mean it's not in the background. It's just it's going to be more of a logical decision than an emotional decision, whereas the majority of buying decisions are really emotional. So, okay, so USPs can be all sorts. You can have a price, USP. So if you name a retailer with a price USP.
Well, it was John Lewis, but it's not.
John Lewis was, and then they've scrapped that now.
It would be Amazon. Don't sort of say they are, but Amazon definitely say that competes on price.
I think they do, but they don't really use it as.
They don't shout about it.
Amazon's USP is everything you could possibly want in one place. You don't have to buy anything, and next day delivery. That's becoming their USP. But as the Lidl, okay. So you can have that as a USP, but if you're going to do that, you have to be the lowest price. And the problem with that is if you're, other people can then beat you. So people like Asda were beaten to that game by Aldi and Lidl because they just cut out a lot of the process, which means they could reduce their margins. So, you can build it on service. So people like Southwest Airlines built their USP on service. Singapore Airlines, some of the airlines. Convenience, I think that's Amazon's one. It's and choice, guarantee. So I won't go into each of these, but you've got to find something that sets you apart from the competition. And that's the message you need to sort of be putting in the marketing, that we are different. So now USPs are generally speaking for product-based businesses. A service-based business is a bit more difficult to put an actual USP on, because it's nothing in a service is unique. Gary can't really do anything. The end result is not unique. Somebody else can do what he does. You could sell a product, a box that's unique. Only we have it. No, you can't buy anywhere else. Okay, but Gary can't do that. So where you can't have necessarily a USP, then you build in a guarantee. Okay, so you basically have a guarantee that says, right, I guarantee my quality of work. I guarantee all the things that you might be worried about.
So there's no you're reducing risk, as you say.
Exactly, reduce risk. You take the risk off the table. There is no risk. Try us out. Money back guarantee.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like it, you don't pay.
Yeah.
Now, when we bring this into some businesses and say, look, we give a money back guarantee. If you're not happy with the service, we give you your money back. People, oh, well, what if they claim on it? So the answer to that is, well, look, if something really did go wrong and they claimed on it, what would you do? You'd fix it, wouldn't you? You know,
of course.
Yeah.
you know, if somebody bought one of your boxes and the bottom fell out and they complained, you'd go, well, I'm really sorry, this doesn't happen. I'll send you another one.
Of course. Yeah.
So basically, you're just putting words to something you would do anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we're really, but you can only do that if you are 100% sure of your process, the way you deliver, and the quality of your product.
Yeah.
So that's why niche, you know, if we go back to the 5 ways, growth is always second after delivery mastery. So if you haven't got delivery mastery, you can't do this, because you can't consistently be assured that they're going to get a quality product and service.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're looking here then is, you know, if we come back to here, you know, who's our target audience? What's the story? What's different about us, and what's the benefit to you of us being that way? Yeah, if they can't relate the story back to them, then there's no power to it.
Mm.
So we're really looking at, you know, that sort of, you know, what's the one big thing that we're good at? Why us? What is it that we need to do? Because that's going to be the key to getting this message across to the people we're talking to.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on the offer?
Just know know what it is that you offer that makes you different to others.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this into a bit of context now. Okay. And when we know our target, when we're really clear with our target, then advertising, because in effect, getting the message out, this is part of the copy. How do we communicate this out? We have to abide by what we call the ADA principle. Okay, the ADA principle was formulated by a guy called John Caples, wrote a book called Tested Advertising Methods, one of the sort of subliminal works in advertising and marketing. And like target offer copy, which is marketing, you know, and you don't need to know anything else about marketing apart from those 3 things. In advertising, you only need to know these 4 things in advertising.
Yes.
And ADA stands for attention, interest, desire, action. So every piece of marketing we do has to grab people's attention, and more so in today's electronic world than ever before. You know, in the old days when he designed this, the majority of advertising was paper-based advertising.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm reading the newspaper, I'm flicking through. If it doesn't grab my attention within 3 seconds, then I'm moved on to the next page.
Yeah.
Now it's scrolling, and you've got 0.3 of a second to grab my attention.
Mm.
Okay, so whatever we do, something's got to stand out and go, oh, made me look. Yeah, it could be a picture, could be a headline, you know, it could be a shape. Yeah, if it's a mail, if it's a phone call, it needs to be the words that we use. Whatever method we use, something in there's got to be the attention grabber. Once I've got the attention, then I focus in on the interest and desire. Okay, so this is now touching. I've got to touch an emotional button somewhere that makes you want to do something. Now, again, formula for change. It's either going to be a dissatisfaction. Yeah, I'm going to prod something that hurts, or it's going to be a vision of something in the future. Okay, a better state than you are at the moment, but something that draws me into the advert. Okay, it makes me not spend 3 seconds there, makes me spend 30 seconds. So the adage is you have 3 seconds to buy 30 seconds, to buy 3 minutes, to buy 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, and by the 30 minutes, that's when you're into sales. So the marketing is the 3 seconds to buy 30 seconds. That sort of pull somebody into what we're trying to get them to do. And then the final thing that we've got to make sure every piece of marketing has is a call to action.
Yeah.
Make it simple for them to actually do something. Now, that might be buy. So click here, buy now. That's what Amazon did so well. That buy now button was like a revelation.
Yeah,
I don't have to
crazy,
I don't have to put my credit card in. I don't have to put my address in. And that's why people go back to Amazon, because not because it's cheaper, because actually now Amazon in most things is more expensive than you can buy elsewhere.
Yeah,
easy.
But it's just a fact. All I have to do is push a button and it's delivered to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
What a fantastic model. I mean, just inspired. But
it's so obvious, isn't it?
This is coming back to stuff that was actually known about in the 1920s and 1930s.
Yeah.
It's just that they didn't have the technology then to make it as quick as it is now. So if we take this now and we put this concept into an actual advert, so I'm going to use an advert that is quite an old advert now. I've been using it for about 15 years, but to be honest, I haven't found anything better that explains this principle. It explains how adverts should look and how they should work. And it's an award-winning advert. I know it's award-winning because I know the guy who actually was on the team that built the advert, and they won an award for it. And they not only won an award for it because it looked good, but also because it actually worked. It generated hundreds of thousands of pounds of revenue from this one advert. And the principles are all based on John Capel's, book, where he tested and tested and tested and measured and measured and measured. And this advert itself took around about 6 months to actually come up with the final version.
Yeah.
So they didn't just come up with one advert, they came up with loads and loads of adverts, tested them, found, tweaked things, tried them out. And this is before internet. So this was like, it took at least a week before, they got results from it. Okay. And everything in this advert is there for a reason. Okay. This is not just cobbled together. This is a team of, I don't know how much the advert cost, probably tens of thousands of pounds to actually prepare the advert, but it was producing hundreds of £1,000s of profit.
Yeah.
Okay. So the return on investment was mega on it. And the other thing is, you do the work once, you get paid forever. And too many people, you see adverts all over the place that they're just thrown together. Even marketing companies don't understand this. And they'll do you a nice looking advert, but when you ask them, right, where's my attention grabber? Where's the interest and desire? Where's the call to action? It generally fails. Okay, so I've got a little checklist which has this as an example, and then it basically gives you a chance to score your advert and say, right, how am I doing on this?
Yeah.
So the first thing is, right, does it hit the attention grabbing criteria?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much.
So what in there? Yeah, if you're flicking through a page, if you were scrolling on the internet, what grabs your attention?
The headline. The headline. So it's so punchy, and so you instantly want to know what's the agony.
Yeah. Yeah. So the headline grabs the attention, and the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Pictures speak 1,000 words. So always, wherever you can, have a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So the attention is about this headline. And if you think about it, this is what we call above the fold. Okay, so imagine something being folded. It comes back to when things came through the post. It was folded up. We would look at the headline. So newspapers are all done about above the fold. So when you fold a newspaper, what's that headline? So we are programmed, hundreds of years of programming of taking in printed information to actually scan things for headlines. Okay, go back to what I said about the 3 concepts of marketing. Are most important is identifying your
Target.
Okay, so how does this fit in with targeting?
Is that middle-aged British women?
Well, it depends where this advert is placed. I would imagine it's in the, where have they placed this advert?
That's a very good question. Where do you think this advert was being placed?
I would imagine this is in the back. It could be in the back pages of the magazine of the weekend papers.
Yep.
I would wager they were there. I would think also in your daily newspaper.
Yep. Which particular daily newspaper?
The Mail.
The Mail.
Probably.
Yeah. This was an advert for the Mail.
Yeah. So
okay.
you've got,
why did they choose the Mail?
Because the readership grouping of how do you call it? The customer base, the readership grouping would be matching to the target market, which would probably be sort of middle-aged to elderly, good socioeconomic group with money to spend. That's basically.
Bang on. They nailed their demographic.
That's it. to 50, 60-year-old.
Yeah. Why did they choose women, not men?
Interesting.
I know the answer to this one because I've heard it before. Because the men have wives and the men don't read magazines and papers and they don't buy things. The women are the one who buy things. So when the man has a back problem, the woman sorts it out.
Yeah. Women buy beds. Blokes will just put up with any old shit.
Like,
and they'll say, look, let's just buy the cheapest, because these beds are
a lot
thousands of pounds. And that was back in the day,
Yeah.
So a bloke would just say, "Oh, we'll just buy a cheap mattress and put it on."
Yeah.
The other thing is the headline is very clever because it says, "At last, my agony is over." Now, initially that says it's back
it's
problem,
her
isn't
agony.
It?
Yeah, but it's not. It's both. It goes both ways.
So what's her agony?
Is the husband moaning at her about the back problem?
I with the hump next to her.
Yeah.
Okay, so very, very targeted to a particular. Now, okay, you could say sexist. You could say it doesn't pick up on the ethnic groups. Okay, this was
nowadays
20 odd years ago, but you look at a lot of adverts now, and they are now targeting certain adverts to certain demographics. We can't please everybody.
No.
But you've got to understand who's the most likely to be buying your product and service, and then you build your advert around that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got this sort of above the fold. Again, they've used this little bit of white space here because I read this, and then my first thing is I get a bit more, detail into here. So one British woman. Why? Yeah. How has British got anything to do with it? Okay, because the readership are British. This is the Daily Mail. They associate themselves with being British.
Yeah.
So then I need to be drawn in with some interest. So here I've got some testimonials.
Yeah. Okay. Quote. Yeah.
So I suffered terribly. Again, it's still not saying I had bad back problems. It's a little bit more generalist, so it picks up a wider spectrum of people. We've got some, you can't read this, but you've got some good copy down here because some people, again, go back to, remember the disc profiling. Some people are high Cs. They like to know detail. Okay, high Ds like to come in, get the point. So I can come in, read this very quickly and get the point. I can go in and get a bit more detail if I want to.
If you want, yeah.
Okay, but not a lot of it. This is a big page. There's not a lot of writing there. Okay, pictures speak 1,000 words. Now, that picture itself doesn't really say what it does. So therefore, they've added the handprint, the memory foam side of things. Okay, so we're now creating some desire and pulling people further. So now I'm going to give some free stuff away.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you think about it, what is this advert trying to sell?
Yeah.
A bed.
No.
Well, a better life.
A better life. Yeah.
You know, or improved.
What did I say the purpose of marketing is?
Create leads.
Create leads. Okay. It's not there to sell beds.
Oh,
I don't want somebody, somebody's not going to spend $5,000 on a bed from an advert. What are they going to do?
Inquire.
So, it's the piece of cheese. I'm selling the piece of cheese. Look, get the free pack. I give you a sample of the memory foam. I give you, this is now, I'm into sales here because this is now going to build trust. It's going to identify need. We're now engaging in a conversation, even if it is in a pack. Yeah. Or, there's a coupon down here, to get somebody to call you. Yeah. So I'm actually enticing. So I'm giving people, numerous ways here. And say again, this is even before email. I think this one, there's a free phone number. Make it easy for them, so there's no cost for you. There's a people used to love coupons back in the day. Fill bloody coupons in. So we're creating some accreditation. So we're putting some stamp of approvals. Now, if you think about these, there's the sleep good, feel good, 15-year guarantee.
Guarantee, like you're saying, yeah.
So I'm building those in, but even a stamp here of being a member of BNI, Gary. If you've got an accreditation, subconsciously it gives people that warm, glowing feeling that you're trustworthy. Okay, some people use this to and fake, accreditations, or just use them when they don't have them. Okay, but having something in there that backs up what you actually do is really key. Then we've got another offer here, so you can have some free stuff. Now we're giving here a 60-night trial. So we're basically any fears that they might have. Well, what if we buy this and we don't like it? So you basically put in the guarantee to dispel that fear. Now, this particular one is fantastic because this is what we call the puppy dog close. Have you ever heard of the puppy dog close?
No.
So if I go to a pet shop with the kids, on a Friday, and the kids going, Daddy, can I, have the puppy? Can I have the puppy? The pet shop owner says to me, look, take the puppy home, have the puppy for a weekend. If you don't like the puppy, bring it back on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going back, that puppy.
That's why it's called a puppy dog close. So with the bed, it's even better for this because I think the latest one is the.
I've just bought one, Kevin. Simba they all do it. Simba and Emma.
Yeah.
90 day or something.
I think it's 120 days or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because it doesn't matter because what's the first thing you do when you buy a new bed?
Put in place, make it, lay in it, sleep in it.
What do you do with your old bed?
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
And your mattress, which I did. So I've now not got another one. So
what are you going to do? How are you going to give this bed back? You're just not, are you?
I'd love to know the stats of the numbers that go back. It'd be 0 to You're going to get the weirdos that do it.
You'll get somebody do it, but for what you gain in conversion, and what you have to give back is nothing.
Because you've reduced risk is nothing. Because you're saying,
and if you believe in your product, it's a good product. So why would they give it back?
Yeah, it all tallies, doesn't it? Yeah.
Okay, and then as I said, there's a call to action. Simple phone number, coupons. And the really clever thing with this, there's two really clever things. Is all of this this is what you pay for, this advertising space here. What percentage of that advertising space says who this company is?
About 2. It's very minimal, isn't it? In terms of branding,
Yeah,
it's non-existent.
Almost. Non-existent,
which is fascinating compared to, say, how you'd think today of how important branding is. But that's not necessary here.
In branding, it is. Okay, in branding, it is important.
In branding.
This is not branding. This is advertising.
This advertising.
This is about selling shit.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to sell shit, you don't need branding. I mean, I'm not saying it's not important, and there are places, you know, Coca-Cola spends billions of pounds on branding. You know, it's a strategy. If you have lots of money to spend, then brand all you like.
It's interesting because branding seems so important even at the advertising stage and marketing stage. That's what I'm not saying it is, but it seems so with companies now and online. But
I blame a lot of marketing companies, because turning your logo into something nice and gives you a warm fuzzy feeling, you know, is great.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the adverts that have, you know, this bit here for most adverts is what?
Logo.
The logo and the company name.
Yeah.
You know, we call those tombstone adverts.
Yeah.
Because that's what a tombstone is. Here lies, you know, such and such, because that advert's just going to die. It's not going to work.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So the other really, and again, don't forget, this is over 6 months of test and measure and all these things, putting them into different places. The bit I love about this advert is, for those, don't forget, the majority of people scan adverts. Okay, so when you read something, where do you start reading? If you read a page of a book or a newspaper,
top left,
bottom right,
to bottom right. Okay, so you come in here. First thing is you read the what? Headline.
At last.
Okay, so I've read the headline. Then I scan top to bottom. Okay, so where's this lady pointing?
Oh yeah, she's pointing down towards.
Subconsciously, you read along here, you see her, you look all the way down, you go past the accreditations, warm, fuzzy feeling, straight to the call to action.
Yeah, without reading any of the text.
I'm fussed about the text. I pick up a bit of this and I see this. I don't, unless I'm anal and a high C, which some people are, you know, I don't read any of this stuff. Okay, some bullet points on the way through. You know, I see some quick bullet points. I get to my call to action. And when I leave the page, what point do I leave the page?
Yeah, there's the logo.
What's the last thing I see?
The brand.
The brand. Okay, so it's not that it's not important. It's just on my process of looking down here, down here. I leave thinking, temple, beds, great.
Yeah.
Okay. So the logo is the least important thing. So when we come to do our adverts, you know, there are some restrictions. You know, so when you're advertising on Amazon, eBay, there's some things you can do, you can't do. But every single time you should be looking at this and going, right, the principle, what could we do better?
Yeah.
And I've done it myself when I'm selling stuff on I know I can outsell anybody on eBay for stuff I'm selling. Because, you know, the description I use, the words I use, how I get that message across is a million times better than any private seller on eBay.
Yeah.
I just can't be asked to do it. But it's and when you go on Amazon, you read, you know, adverts and things, you know, they're just awful. You know, it's just and the worst ones are the bloody Chinese when they try and sell shocking. Shit because they can't even spell. You know, it's
no, they're appalling.
And if you really take this principle on board and build that into all of your marketing, you know, this is an email marketing. So again, you know, an email headline, grab the attention, pull people in, you know, short, lots of white space. Okay, you know, calls to action, Yeah, show me how buttons, make it easy, make it simple. It's not all, I mean, I struggle with email. I mean, to get people to bloody read the emails and tell them that the marketing workshop is on a Wednesday and actually to book on. It's not a great copy. My target audience, it's not a great copy. Are there better ways to do it? It's leverage, it's easy. I do it once, I send it out to 100 people, but is it the most effective? Okay, so we're really thinking about here is, if I really understand my target market, really know that it's generally, white females. The other thing with this lady is, what age do you think she is? What age do you think she looks?
Late 40s, 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, late 40s, maybe.
Okay, late 40s. So this is the sort of the age demographic of people who generally start to have bad backs. It's actually about 10 years older. But the key to this is every person associates a picture of themselves 10 years ago.
Yes.
So if I'm 55, I associate with my image when I was 45. Or if I'm 45, with my image when I was 35. I look at my picture of me when I was 25, and it doesn't really compute. It's too far. I'm too fucking old now. But we always see ourselves as being 10 years younger than we actually are.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have a 55, 65-year-old woman on here.
Yeah.
Because they would be associated to 75, 80-year-old women who don't buy beds.
It's past the target, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so even at that level of detail of who should we have on the bed has been thought about.
Yeah.
And we think about the adverts that we put up, don't spend any of this time, and then we wonder why we don't get the results that we're after.
Yeah.
Okay, so set our goals. So if I go back to our marketing plan, set our goals, really understand who our target market is.
Yeah.
What's our USP? What's our story? That's relevant to that target audience. Got to be relevant to target audience. How do we communicate that? What method do we use? So advertising is obviously one, but our website, is it emails, is it referrals, is it Instagram, LinkedIn? These are all the strategies, the copy, which, as I said before, comes last.
Yeah.
20% of our time and effort goes into it, so it's still important, but we should be spending 80% of our time thinking about our target and our offer. Once we've done that, if we're really targeted enough, then the copy should be obvious.
Yeah.
Right, well, the only way I'm going to find these people is networking. So forget everything else. Or, I have to send emails, or they're going to find me on the website. Ultimately, what we're trying to do here is have multiple strategies going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't rely on it, because if I rely on, and I've had clients that have 100% relied on Facebook changed their algorithm, no business.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we come to our measurement, which I'll come to here. So okay, so we have to then measure everything. Okay, marketing is maths. Sales is still important measuring, but sales is more emotional. Marketing is logical. It's a numbers game. So if I can measure it, I know it's going to get done, and I know it can be improved. So we've got to start looking at our key performance indicators, of, again, linking back to the budget. So what is my target? How many leads should I be producing? And then I need this combination of leading and lagging key performance indicators. Okay, and then I'd break that down between my departments as down to as small a granularity as I possibly can go.
Yeah.
And a way to look at this is to say, right, well, if these are my 10 marketing strategies, yeah, that I've identified for this particular target market, or might be multiple targets, each one to a specific target market. This is my budget that I've set to spend. So there's my now, because when people come to me and say, you know, how do I set a marketing budget? You know, you've got to set it from how many leads do you want? What's my cost of acquisition? And what I'm looking at here is if I want to get 50, you know, from this, I think each of these can produce this number of leads. So 54 leads, yeah, number of meetings, sales target, and then that's the target sales. So for 650 quid, I want to get £5,000 of sales. Okay, that's the measurement I'm looking to actually achieve. And when I come to actually then taking that and monitoring it, I need to know what my activity is. So how many, you know, quotes have I done? How many phone calls have I done? How many adverts have I put out? How many hits has that advert got?
Yeah.
So everything is a leading and then a lagging. But the leading ultimately is activity, because that's the only thing I'm really in control of. How many adverts have I placed? How many phone calls have I made? How many leaflets have I given out? Yeah. And if I can know how many of those generate a client, then if I want 10 clients, I've just got to multiply that number by 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And where the majority of marketing falls down is not in its design, not in the way it looks. It's generally in the lack of activity. If I don't get that advert out into the newspaper, if I don't get that flyer into the hand of a prospect, they're never going to buy from me.
Mm.
Okay. And again, go back to the advert. It was tested. It was measured. They put the advert out. It was improved. And they put it out. It was improved. They put it out. It was improved. They didn't sit there going, right, let's wait 6 months and design the perfect advert, and then we'll put it out there. You know, even an advert that you put out that gets nothing is good, because the feedback is people don't like it. So change it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, Gary fell into this one. Was, you know, okay, part of it was my fault because he kept on sending it to me to critique, and I kept on telling it was crap. But at the end of the day, there's the adage is publish and be damned. You know, publish it, get it out there, let the market tell you if it's any good.
Let people, you
know, it's no good sitting on your desk. You know, you've got to get the adverts out there to make it work. Okay, so you know, the measurement therefore of your marketing is critical.
Yeah.
Okay, control it, measure it, and then improve it. And this is a continual feedback loop. You know, I measure it, I come back, I change it, I measure it, and I'm seeing where I go with it. And that's why, you know, marketing is as much science as it is art. You know, there needs to be a design. You know, that advert was well designed. It looks good. It flows with the eye, but there's science behind it. A lot of adverts look good, but there's no science behind it. There's no, you know, you think, well, actually, yeah, it might catch my attention, but where do I phone? Who do I call? You know, I go to websites and there's no phone number on there. It's like, Jesus.
I know.
And we're talking about the chat box, you know. Make chat boxes there, but make them easy to use. You know, I hate chat boxes that I go through to an automated robot. It's like, you know, people just want their problem solved.
Yeah.
You know, when you phone a number and it says press 1 for this, 2 for this, 3 for this, 4 for this. You know, fuck's sake, just talk to a human being, please.
Yeah.
You know. Cool. Any oh, that's just me going through there. So I've whizzed through that. I think I've got the essence of it
Yeah, Kevin, you've answered it. Really, what I was saying, what I was looking for. So really interesting.
Okay, so
really enjoyed that.
So really, the first thing is set the goals. Get for you, James, get the team have got to understand what the goal is. If you're using external marketing people like Gary, they've got to understand the goal is. Don't ever assume your marketing people know that marketing is lead generation, because most of them don't.
Yeah.
They think it's pretty things. Okay, and make them clear, right, I want to do this, I'm going to be measuring this, so it has to give me a return on investment.
Yeah.
Think about your limiting beliefs about marketing. Some people have got negative thoughts about it, and then follow the HEMP principle. That's the best way I've ever found to create a marketing plan. And sometimes it's better to focus on one target with one offer, with one route to market, and get that right. It's like spinning plates. Get one plate spinning, then do another one. Don't try and do 10 plates at once, because none of them will get done.
Yes. Yeah.
So get that bloody leaflet out, Gary.
Will you have the slides, Kevin? Just as is my first one.
I don't have the slides, but
I can go on the video and just still it. And
you can go on the video. If there's something you sort of say, oh, can I have the hemp? I'll send you the hemp one.
Yeah.
Because that
would be great. That was what I was wondering.
Build it around. I can send you that, and I've got a little workbook as well, which you can use as a way to understand it. So
great, really good. Enjoyed that.
Stuff, guys. Great to have you on. Thanks for your input, and we'll see you at another mastering workshop very soon. So take care.
Thanks, Kevin. See you, Gary. Bye. Cheers.